Yo, 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 yo. It's your guy, BW.
And your little man, Ollie.
And your little man, Ollie Bear. And the question for today is, at what point does a collection of shapes become a person? Our friend Gerald already has a few features painted in, but those details aren't what make him look like Gerald. Over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to work on his shape and form, and I want you to watch for the moment he stops looking like paint and starts looking like a person. That moment has very little to do with eyelashes or wrinkles and has everything to do with seeing the big shapes correctly. Here at Right Out the Box, we believe that every painting is a bridge. And this painting is a bridge to ourselves, or our self-worth. These clowns.
Oh, can I tell you their names?
You can tell them the names.
Okay. So, the one right here, his name is Small Eyes, Small Head, Big Head. I don't know.
Uh-oh, you don't forget their names,
No,
huh?
I just haven't named the driver yet. Cornhead.
Oh.
Misery.
Good Lord.
Well, he's in his misery. Look at his face.
So you're naming them by their state of being, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goofy. Orange Head. Handle.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Ollie.
You're welcome. Oh, and the big brick one, that one's Gerald.
Yeah. Gerald, the big brick one. All right, so, these are more like paint-alongs and less like watch me paint. I know I said watch for the moment that he becomes. Man, this is going to be hard to get the camera in the right spot and get myself in the right spot today. I'm going to be all up in the shot today. And that's fine. All right, so oh Lord, I'm bumping everything. I can't get to the painting. We're having logistics issues. Headphones are all tangled. Logistics are killing us. Bill?
Pizza. I'm eating pizza.
Okay, here we go. Time to paint. I think if I can get a song that I can paint to. Okay. Last couple of days I've been stuck on this kind of simple but kind of complicated issue. And that being the issue of planes. All right, so we have this rule. It goes something like, we paint from the back to the front, from the top to the bottom, from the left to the right. So I'm gonna use the background to create the shape of Gerald. Now, so, yeah, initially, right? I like to say that painting is the sport of addition by subtraction. Did I say that right? Yeah, it's the sport of addition by way of subtraction. So we're gonna add Gerald to this painting by painting more background. Now, you see this white or like this form, right? And we're kind of taking a page out of the sculptor's book here, right? Imagine Gerald was a sculpture, and we had like a huge block of stone. What we're doing is we are chiseling away the stone that Gerald currently sits in. Right? And I am only concerned with the final plane of Gerald. And we can see where that is. Right? We painted it already. So we can't add to the stone, but we can take away from the stone. This is where it's, you know, do we want to give him a belly? Let's say we do. I think I do. Let's give him, let's say this belly comes out to here. I mean, we can't add more to the stone, right? But we can cut. All right, so his belly comes out to the front of the stone, right? So what does that mean? We gotta push some of this stone up here back. And we're gonna use value to make this happen for now. This is level 3.5 art, right? We're managing construction, or we're taking construction and we're turning it into a recognizable object. We're translating, if you will. We're trying to. I think I'm gonna go to my reference now. Yeah. So the other thing that's possible is that, like, this back arm, because that's the farthest part of them, right? This back arm very well could get, even though we're painting it now, or we're painting the shape of it, the form of his belly, the form of his body can absolutely cover it. We can, and that wouldn't be wrong. Like, the arm doesn't stop existing just because the belly is covering it. All right, but before we can even like really concern ourselves about whether his fist is clenched or relaxed. Wait, I lost my train of thought. Okay, we're making progress, I think. I'm holding my breath, locked in. I'm finding myself pretty far away from Gerald, but hey. almost there. We're almost there. We're getting there. Okay, believe it or not, I'm painting the shape of an arm. Yes, you see me painting the background, but it's like the collection of stopping points. I'm painting the arm. So I think a lot of us want to paint additively, right? You want to come into the body, into the torso in here, and you want to start painting the arm, right? I'm going to paint the arm. But what I'm saying to you is paint the sky to paint the arm. And it's where you stop. It's the collection point. It's the collection of stopping points of the sky that show us where the arm begins. I don't know where I end and you begin. I love you that much. Right? Does that make sense? Make it make sense. Play this until it makes sense. Now, what I don't like about this is I can't see the time. Can't see the time at all. So if there's ever going to be a video that runs long, it's going to be this one. All right. Now, here we are. We've made it. We've got the transition that we'd want. But now we got to start working color. We're going to put Gerald in a brown jacket. Which is going to be interesting, right? Because how do you paint black? I know I just said brown, but still, brown is pretty much like black. How do you paint the color? Well, anytime you're painting a color, you first have to ask, is this color existing in the light or is this color existing in the dark? And even though this is a dark color that we're about to make, it exists in the light. So the first color we put down is going to be white. All right, now how do you make brown? Does anybody know? Anybody here know how to make brown? Can you help it play out? You know, I think the other thing about painting is that it's a reactionary process, or at least it should be. So I put white down, I put red down. I got something that's kind of like orange. It's kind of orangish. So if I add yellow, it's gonna become even more orange. All right, but what happens when I put in the blue? Does it become green? Still pretty red if you ask me. Kind of purple. Kind of nowhere. Kind of got a glare between, kind of got like some light coming from the kitchen that's coming in between the painting and myself. I should probably go close those blinds. Because this is adding a layer of white, or layers of white, between myself and the painting. Yeah, I'm gonna do that before I do something regrettable, because I can't quite see the way that I need to see.
I'm about to break my tooth open. What never fell out because it never fell out.
My poor child is suffering. She's got this tooth that I'm not sure why it hasn't come out, but it should absolutely come out. I tried to tie some floss around it, but I couldn't quite, it wasn't quite landing there. Y'all got some tooth pulling techniques, then you know, save me a couple bucks so I ain't gotta take it to the dentist for an extraction of a baby tooth. All right, we're getting somewhere. Mud, if nowhere else. Which is about the color of brown, right? Maybe. I gotta close this blind. I can't see. 16 minutes. Oh my goodness. Time is slipping away. All right, so that should reduce a lot of the glare. Okay, can we... Oh, so much better. I can... Now that that glares... Oh my goodness, that light was like beaming straight into my eyeball. Oh. Okay, the other thing that I want to do as I paint inside of our friend Gerald is I want to paint with the flow of the body part that I'm, yes, I'm painting his jacket, but I'm painting his jacket as it hangs and flows around his body. All right, we made some progress there. So now that we got the color in there, and the side is in the highlight, it's more like managing highlight versus highlight. So which one sticks out more, his chest or his arm? Gerald been in the gym, so his chest. By gym, I mean table muscle. One of the things that we had to be careful of, especially since we're like working his form now, is his form. Like we are specializing or bro, I'm losing my mind. What are we communicating as we detail his structure, his personal structure? Whole lot of painting here, not a whole lot of talking. Sorry if I'm being bad company. All right, so I might have gotten a little bit out of order here. I started going for his belly. You know, I don't want to paint him like an athlete. So like I, you know, kind of needed a placeholder. I kind of wanted to put this gut out before I started giving him like oh my goodness. My music has been distracting today. Oh man, Lord. All right, so what we're doing is we're taking him from a generic form and we're building his personal form. Because the front side of him is in the light, we start with the white. Gonna make these pants greenish. How do we make green? Blue and yellow. Now, the question now is, if we paint from the back to the front, why are you painting his pants before you painted the ground that's behind him? Making mistakes, y'all. Rushing. You know, there's like this pressure that comes with these videos. It's like, don't waste nobody's time. With that being said, we're probably at the point of the prepared closing. Let me check. Paint the background first. You know, and some of the reason that we want to do that is so that we can get natural, better transitions from the background into the object of the foreground. You see how it kind of overlapped there? Now I'm gonna take, like, I know that I want his pants out to there. So like, now I can paint inside of that wet paint there, which gives me so much more control. This really helps allow me to react, right? To paint. By painting into the paint, I can see that, oh, I need more of this, I need more of that. But this brings us into the prepared close. And you know, I came into today's painting session. I was excited, bro. I was thinking that this lesson was going to be about shape and form. But somewhere along the way, we started talking about the background. And then light. And then color. And now I'm asking for your patience. And I think that's because paintings have a funny way of telling us what they're actually about. Sometimes we don't discover the lesson until we're halfway through learning it. That's true in painting, and it's true in life. We spend so much time trying to force the picture we imagine that we miss the picture that's trying to emerge. Every brushstroke changes the next decision. Every correction teaches us something the original plan never could. So maybe becoming a better painter isn't about controlling every outcome. Maybe it's about paying close enough attention to recognize what the painting is asking for next. It's kind of like, well, it reminds me that mountains aren't built in one moment. Well, kind of, but whatever. Listen, they're built brick by brick, layer by layer, pressure upon pressure. The painting in front of us didn't arrive today. It became what it is because we stayed with it. So whatever you're building, whether a painting, a business, a relationship, or your own life, don't be discouraged if today felt messy. Sometimes the mess isn't evidence that you're lost. Sometimes it's evidence that something real is taking shape. So, with that being said, I'm going to be spending about another 30 minutes here working this painting. But if you're looking for the highlights, maybe this needs to move to the front, to the prepared opening. If you're looking for the highlights, you can find that on Instagram. All right, that's going to be instagram.com/BWHUART, BEEDOUBLEART / Did I get that right? BWHUE, BEEDOUBLEHUEART. We publish a monthly magazine, and you can find that on writeoutthebox.com, WRITEOUTDABOX.com. I'm really excited because we've finished all of August today. August is ready to go. So we'll be releasing August on August the 1st. This painting that you see now will be a part of the September issue. So we are actively working on September. All right, y'all. Tomorrow we may not be painting these clowns. I got a phone call today and a request to do a live painting. So, that being said, I think we're going to start on a new image tomorrow. We will be coming back to, I've never taken a painting this far and not finished it. So, we will be starting something new tomorrow, but we will be coming back to Gerald and the rest of these clowns. You see what I'm doing? I'm using the background to paint the object in the foreground. All right, pray for me, y'all. I'm looking forward to our next session. Until then, peace.